Most people believe getting a raise is the answer. More income in, more savings out. Clean logic. And then 6 months pass and the bank account looks exactly the same, just with a longer list of subscriptions and a lifestyle that somehow needs every dollar of the raise just to stay afloat. Here's what nobody tells you: the moment that raise hits, a 48-hour countdown starts running. By the time it ends, that additional income is either building your wealth or it's already been absorbed into your life permanently, and the painful part is, most people never knew the clock was even running. Think about the last time your income went up. A raise, a better offer, a side income that finally started moving. For a few days, maybe a week, you felt it, that specific sensation of financial space. You thought about what you'd finally save, what you'd invest, what would stop keeping you up at night. And then, quietly, without any single conscious decision, it disappeared. An extra dinner out, a slightly better apartment, the Uber instead of the subway, the upgraded plan that was finally worth it. None of those felt like decisions. They felt like the natural next step, like gravity pulling your lifestyle up to fill every inch of the new space. That feeling isn't weakness. It's not a failure of financial discipline. It's a mechanism so deeply embedded in human psychology that it has a name, and understanding it is the precise difference between staying in the category of people who earn more and never have more versus actually building wealth over time. There's a window, narrow, specific. It opens every time your income increases. Inside that window, the cement is still wet. You can shape exactly where that money flows, what it builds, what it becomes. But the window doesn't stay open based on your motivation or your good intentions. It closes on a biological schedule. And when it closes, whatever the cement hardened around becomes the new floor of your lifestyle, permanent until the next raise opens it again. Most people's new income hardens into lifestyle. Wealth builders' new income hardens into assets. That difference isn't mindset, it's timing. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly why this window exists, why almost everyone misses it, and the one mechanical move that changes the outcome every single time without requiring willpower to sustain. Behavioral scientists call this process hedonic adaptation. Your brain is fundamentally a prediction engine. It doesn't measure your financial life against some objective standard. It measures it against what you've already experienced. So when income increases, the brain doesn't flag the extra money as surplus. It recalibrates, it updates the baseline. Within roughly 90 days, not gradually but in discrete psychological jumps, the new income level becomes the new normal. Anything below it starts to register as scarcity, not as where you were living comfortably just months ago. This is why someone earning 3 times what they made 5 years ago can still feel financially squeezed. The treadmill sped up, they're still in the exact same place. And here's what makes this an income growth strategy problem, not a character problem. This adaptation process runs below the level of conscious choice. It doesn't wait for permission. The only window to redirect it is before it runs, not after, not alongside it, before. Most personal finance advice treats this as a motivation failure. Track more, budget harder, want it more. But that advice is structurally wrong because it positions willpower as the solution to a biological process. You cannot outdiscipline a mechanism that operates faster than your decisions. Here's the precision: the adaptation hardens around whatever your nervous system experiences as available income. If the first thing that happens after a raise is that you feel the full new amount, see it in your account, spend at that level, live there for a few weeks, the adaptation locks in the full amount as the new floor. The lifestyle expands to claim every dollar. This is lifestyle inflation working exactly as designed, silently, automatically, and completely. But if inside that 48-hour window, the difference is redirected before your nervous system ever encodes it as available, the adaptation runs its process on the original amount. Your lifestyle calibrates to the old floor. The new income never gets absorbed because it was never visible to absorb. This is the foundation underneath every wealth-building habit that actually compounds over time, not discipline, but sequencing. The order of operations. Set correctly once, it runs forever. Here are the two sequences side by side. Most people earn the raise right arrow, experience the full new income right arrow, adapt to the higher floor, try to save from what's left. What's left is always less than expected because the floor already rose to claim it. Wealth builders earn the raise, redirect the difference, first right arrow experience only what remains, right arrow adapt to the original floor. Same income, same human brain, same biology running in the background, but one sequence builds assets while the other builds lifestyle, and the only variable separating them is what happens in the first 48 hours. This is not sacrifice. This is sequencing. Here's what makes the window genuinely dangerous to miss. Those 48 hours are emotionally loaded. You just earned something, the brain wants to reward you for it. The reward circuitry is active, the long-term planning centers are quieter. And in that state, every input, your social environment, your feed, every conversation about what you'll do with the extra money is pulling the wet cement in a lifestyle direction. The 48-hour window doesn't pause while you do research. It doesn't wait for you to feel organized. It runs on a neurological clock, not your calendar. And the environments built around you, consumer technology, social comparison, marketing, are specifically engineered to make sure the cement gets shaped before you realize it needs to be shaped. Wet cement takes 30 seconds to redirect. Hardened concrete takes a jackhammer and a full year of effort. Every raise that closed without a redirect is a floor that rose to claim it permanently. If you've had raise after raise and still feel financially static, if the number going up on your pay stub has no relationship to the number going up in your actual wealth, this is exactly why, not a character flaw. Not a lack of ambition, the default mechanism ran every time the window opened, and every time the floor rose. Here is the complete mechanical answer, and it requires no motivation to maintain. Investment automation is not a convenience feature. It is the only intervention that moves faster than hedonic adaptation. When you redirect a set percentage of every income increase to a savings or investment account, before the new number ever appears in your spendable balance, the brain never encodes that amount as available income. The adaptation process runs, it just runs on the original floor. You cannot adapt to a ceiling you were never shown. This is the entire wealth building strategy, one automated transfer configured inside the 48-hour window before the first paycheck at the new rate arrives. The percentage matters less than the sequence. Even redirecting half the raise while allowing yourself the other half means one portion is compounding for you instead of being absorbed. Over a career of salary increases, each one partially captured, that difference becomes a completely different financial life. Not because of discipline, because of timing. The person who builds wealth over time doesn't sacrifice more. They live at roughly the same level as their previous income, and that level, maintained while income grows, produces compounding assets alongside it. They're not grinding through deprivation. They just ran a different sequence at the right moment and let automation keep running it. 10 years from now, when that investment account generates returns larger than their original salary, they won't trace it back to some act of heroic financial discipline. They'll trace it back to a series of redirects made in 48-hour windows that felt almost too small to matter at the time. You don't need more income to start building wealth. You need to stop letting income growth automatically become lifestyle growth. Here's the direct challenge: the next raise is coming. Maybe weeks away, maybe months. Maybe you just got one and you're calculating right now whether the window is still open. Decide today, before it arrives, exactly what percentage of that increase you will redirect before you ever touch it. Build the automation in advance so it executes the moment the new income does, not after the first paycheck. Not once you've adjusted, before the window opens, so the cement gets shaped the instant it's poured. Because the cement will be wet for exactly 48 hours. What you build in that window is what you'll be standing on for years. Don't let someone else's plan for your money get there first.